pull the meeting to order. After the presentations are done, we can do some more, some more conversations, some more, now I'm losing my words.
4:35 is a fellowship.
We have our
Oh, we can do
superstar
fellowships
Shankar
at a
Dakuju
later
also logging in.
5 o'clock meeting will start.
Yeah. Ravi, great to see you.
Presentations are done, we can do some more, some more conversations, some more, where am I going?
Sorry, sir.
5 o'clock meeting will start. Yeah. Ravi, great to see you.
Uday, waiting to hear you. I was so eager to hear you. I logged in at 6 o'clock. Then he said, "Shut up. Come back at 9 o'clock."
Guys, this is Ravi Shankar Dakuju.
You're welcome, sir.
The one
You're welcome.
who really upped the scale for giving in India. As we all know, he committed 100 crores to Rotary. And for a man like me, I had no option but to follow his footstep and start giving inspiration and role model.
Thousands of.
For us, Uday is a hero. He always inspiring. At that young age, he thinks so big. We're so proud of him. So we are all waiting to hear him.
Yes. That's why we are calling this time of the young generations.
Yes.
And we all have a wide prayer center, so we have to listening is the only option from these young guys.
It is the best way to learn. We must learn from the old. We must learn from the experienced. Otherwise, we're not going to get anywhere. So it's amazing to see such huge dignitaries, I would say, as far as Rotary is concerned. And I'm glad you all are here. And AG Uday Pilani is the attraction that we have had. And thank you, sir, for accepting our invitation to speak on this topic today.
My pleasure.
Good evening, everyone. This is Dr. Divya, the President of Rotary Allahabad Midtown, District 3120. It's great to be here with all of you. So looking forward to have a great learning.
Fantastic.
Welcome, Dr. Vidya.
Welcome.
Thank you.
Divya.
You're welcome, Dr. Divya. You're welcome.
Thank you so much. Thank you. We'll plan to meet after this, pandemic period. We will plan to meet.
Thank you.
So thanks to virtual mode that we are able to connect with each other, and definitely we can have some good plans.
Thank you.
The beauty of Rotary, that word is in front of you.
Yeah, right. Exactly.
A great opportunity to catch up online at least, and we can now understand the benefit of this online meetings where internationally we can connect, see each other, talk to
Absolutely.
each other. I've got my immediate past president Sailesh Gumidili also I can see here. Also one of my mentors Suresh Khemani, he's a past president and one of those 100% Rotarians that you look up to. I can see Kishore Beneni. He's been at the district level, he's been working very hard with us and making a success out of what we do. So great to see everybody here.
So I just also want to want all of us to know that we are actually live on also on YouTube right now, so that a lot more people can listen to what is happening and join us on YouTube as well. Just in case that the number of people who can be admitted on Zoom gets limited. So that's where we are.
If you have people that are unable to connect on Zoom for any reason, then YouTube is available. You can hear the entire thing and participate through comments. And that's why we have opened that channel.
Rochit, your screen needs a little adjustment. Can you bring it a little up or down?
Just a little louder, closer to you.
There you go, sir.
Yes.
Excellent.
Well done.
Rotarian Nolu, welcome one more time, sir.
Thank you very much.
So I'm actually going to take a little time to explain, welcome Rotarian Nolu because of two reasons. Very, very simply, Rotarian Nolu is a past PDG for our district 9110 2013-14, and he's currently also the regional Rotary Foundation coordinator for West Africa Region 27. Along with that, he's also the West Africa Program Director for Rotary Family Health, which has actually used global grants and today has reached about 1.5 million people across West Africa alone. So, this program is becoming larger. Thank you very much, PDG, for doing this for us. And you're actually, in many ways, our role model. We need to be able to learn from you, to do other things. I was speaking with you yesterday. Thank you very, very much for joining us. We are very, very grateful. Very grateful.
Welcome.
Thank you.
Thank you. Nice meeting all of you, especially Uday. I'm seeing Uday for the first time live now on TV.
So actually, PDG, you should ensure that he comes to Nigeria because he has been telling me he will come to Nigeria for almost now 2 years. And what the best I have heard is I almost missed the flight. That was one story he gave me one time.
We will put nice and loving pressure on him now. He will come. It won't be
my suggestion is there that as soon as the commercial flight start, we will send one ticket to Rotarian Uday. He has to come then.
Oh yes.
Oh,
all of us want to see him.
I think there is an alibi in the house that Rotarian AG Uday has got. His younger daughter loves Nigeria more than anything else. Even today, she speaks Pidgin, and when I'm traveling back to India, her only request of me is, Tayaji, don't forget to bring Indomie.
When are we starting?
Kindly allow me to congratulate all Nigerians for polio-free country.
Thank you so much.
Yes.
Congratulations to everyone.
Huge one, big one.
Thank you, PDG Suresh. It is congratulations to all Rotarians all over the world. It is not only the Nigerian Rotarians.
Yes.
Because they have been released only now.
Yeah, today we had a prize distribution on that by the National Polio Committee,
We also, I can see Elise has logged in. Elise,
hi.
Yeah. She's another big star, big Nigeria supporter. Elise is right there at the top of the Rotary world, and great resource person, very passionate Rotarian. Hey, Elise, great to see you.
So
thanks for Eco Atlantic. At least we all can see each other using this skills.
Yeah, it's wonderful.
I can confirm that today. Elise has been a very wonderful Rotarian and a friend of Nigeria.
Very huge friend of Nigeria.
I hope you still remember me, Elise. Yes,
wonderful to see you.
We did very good work together.
Yes, I miss you all very much.
Yeah.
We also have Mr. Yagazi from Yagazi Foundation in Nigeria, and he is joining us because he heard that Mr. Pilani was coming here, and also telling us about Global Grant. And he's here. He's not a Rotarian yet, but he's here because he runs a foundation that does a lot of charity, and he wants to hear how he can also learn from the Rotary network.
Sure, sir. Great to see.
I think Uday you now see why you have to come to Nigeria.
Yes.
Good. I'll give you another information. My uncle says hello to you because I told him that I'll be listening to you this evening. John Maji Agbe.
Yeah.
He says hello to. He says I will say hello to you, and that he's expecting to see you again.
Thank you. I will. A long time I haven't seen him too.
If I can.
Hello.
Pat,
Good
I can
afternoon.
Pat here. Pat is another superstar. She's from Naperville. She's been a great
Yeah.
special governor. And, Pat really goes out of her way and very passionate. Great to see her here. These are all heavyweights, and great resource persons. You reach out to them, they work out something and they make sure things happen.
I can vouch for that because I had met up with Pat in India, if you remember, AG. In that conversation, they are actually doing a project here along with Rotary Club of Vikoi, where they are doing a blood bank here. So we are actually in touch. Yesterday we spoke, Rotarian Pat and I, PDG actually, Pat and I. So we just
yes. And also, good evening, everyone. And also, we're doing a project with Uday's Club as well. in Nigeria, they're part of the Ikoyi project.
Yes, we are partners in that club. So
yes.
In that project, of course. So we have already started the ball rolling by partnering with clubs in Nigeria, and we hope from this evening that the level of partnerships increase. When are you starting the meeting, Rochit? It's going to get late in India otherwise.
Yeah, we're going to start off in the next 2 minutes.
We are meant to start in 10 minutes, but I would like to start it now, if we are okay with that. And I would like to, so we buy 10 minutes extra into our talk.
Sure.
If I'm permitted, I would like to call this meeting to order. And it can be taken up. Rotarian Arshi can share the screen with us. We are going to follow the Rotary protocols first. And who is going to be speaking? Please, OS, if you can take it up.
Sure, absolutely, sir. So, first of all, thank you very much, everybody, for joining. I would like to start off the meeting with the permission of the President. Thank you very much, President. And all my guests, my fellow Rotarians, my seniors, people who I look up to. Thank you very much for coming, be a part of this program. I personally want to thank everybody for taking time out. I know it's very late in the evening in some of the parts of the world, but you have still chosen to be here. So you have actually given us reasons to believe that really Rotary is not about just calling yourself a Rotarian, but also living as a Rotarian. You are absolutely live examples of that, and thank you very much. Again, before I start off, we'll start off with the Rotary protocols. I want to be able to invite Rotarian Mamta Debroy, to speak about the Rotary Grace, followed by Rotarian Arshi, who will speak about the objects of Rotary, and then we will have the four-way test done by Rotarian Pallavi Korani.
Thank you. Thank you, Secretary, Rotarian Rochit. May we all do the Rotary Grace together. O God and giver of all good, we thank thee for our daily food. May Rotary friends and Rotary ways help us to serve thee all of our days. Amen. Thank you.
Hello, everyone. Object of Rotary. The object of Rotary is to encourage and foster the ideal of service as a basis of worthy enterprise, and in particular to encourage and foster the development of acquaintance as an opportunity for service, high ethical standards in business and professions, the recognition of the worthiness of all useful occupations and the dignifying of each Rotarian's occupation as an opportunity to serve society, the application of the ideal of service in each Rotarian's personal, business, and community life, the advancement of international understanding, goodwill, and peace through a world fellowship of business and professional persons united in the ideal of service.
Thank you, Rotarian Arshi. May I request Rotarian Pallavi to speak the four-way test, please?
Good evening, everybody. The four-way test. Is it the truth? Is it fair to all concerned? Will it build goodwill and better friendship? Will it be beneficial to all concerned? Thank you. Good evening.
Thank you. My President, can you please, would you want to speak about your projects to begin with? So the pattern we will follow is that we are going to follow a pattern where we have got first speak about roughly about 5 to 7 projects that we are doing as a club. These are flagship programs of ours. So we will, our leaders are going to come back and present these projects to all of us. We will also have post which we will have our guest speaker, and I will introduce the guest speaker after the projects have been completed, so I can introduce it when everybody else is also on board. So a few people might be late, but we can introduce him at that point of time as well. So I will introduce him, and then he will go ahead and speak to us about various global grants. That how do we get into a global grant scenario? How do we take advantage of global grants, and how do we raise funds? So it's all about and I couldn't find that in my limited understanding, couldn't have found a better speaker than Rotarian Uday to guide us in this place. And after that, we will open up, after the presentation is done, we will seek your help and support to take this forward in any kind of questionnaires. So when AG completes off his conversation, we will have a question and answers where we can ask questions, and Rotarian Uday, AG Uday can answer them, and then we will go ahead and close it with any kind of fellowship or any kind of questions that may happen on each of our projects in specific with the project leaders. So may I request, we will start off with some of our district projects. There are a couple of district projects which are very, very important to us. So we will start off with that, and I will request our president to speak about one district project and one very, very important project which is very close to him, to his heart, and he's somebody who is very passionate about it. So I thought it was best that he speaks about it to begin with. So we'll get our president to speak about the two projects, after which he will pass it on to the other leaders to be able to go back and speak about them. Over to you, President.
Thank you, OS. Rochit.
You need to unmute yourself, President. You got muted.
Sorry about that. Thank you again. So I would first of all like to take this opportunity to welcome all our guest speakers, our guest speaker, our guests and dignitaries of Rotary, as I call them. And we are very much honored today by all of you attending this meeting. Rotary Club of Echo Atlantic is truly graced, and I would like to start this evening without further delay. So I'm going to get into the presentation quickly about our projects. The first project is the prostate cancer project, in which Rotary Club of Echo Atlantic is supporting the district 9110. And this is a project of our DG Bola, and he's very much passionate about this. We have been able to support it as a club, and we are definitely looking for further support from everyone else who is here in terms of giving us support. It's a mere, if I can have the slide, next slide, please. Yeah, it's just a mere $15 per screening. But the fact is that this is going to reach to at least 40 million men in the country that can benefit from this. The next slide, please. The second one is the free eye camp vision enhancement project. And this one, for us, it makes, considering the COVID situation that we are in right now, we still have a plan. On average, in Nigeria, every year, about 1,000 surgeries are done. And as Echo Atlantic, Rotary Club of Echo Atlantic, we would like to see this number go from 1,000 to 2,000. With the support of everybody, by whatever contribution is possible to make this happen. It makes a lot of sense to allow somebody with people like us, Rotarians around the world, it makes a lot of sense to enable somebody go from what you can see on the screen to a better eyesight just for $100. So this makes a lot of sense for us to do. And I would urge for everyone's support out there to say, yes, this is what we can participate in. Thank you. And I would like to hand over the next speaker to please come on. That's Rotarian Abhishek. He is going to speak to you on mental health.
Thank you, my opportunity president, Rotarian Vinod Korani. I recognize your presence and all protocols observed. A warm welcome, my fellow Rotarians from across the world. My name is Rotarian Abhishek Srivastava. I'm the Director and Chair Community Services, Rotary Club of Echo Atlantic, District 9110. I would like to run you through the project, which is Rotary Suicide Prevention Squad and Helpline. The objective of the project is to create a platform which can reduce suicides in Nigeria and support about 10,000 suicidal cases by year 2021. Please, next slide, please. So some statistics and the real issue, about 22% of Nigerian heads of household display depressive symptoms, according to a WHO study. And Nigeria ranks 15th in the world of its suicide rate. Suicide is a killer that kills from within and leaves a trail of death and disaster within the family, you know. So there's a study which says that when there is a suicide in a family, the possibility of another suicide in the same family is manifold. So some parts of Nigeria, especially the northeast, where the Boko Haram issues are there, they have a lot more suicide attempts as well. So there's a relationship between conflict and suicide as well. So what is the solution? The solution is to create awareness, identify and openly talk about suicide, create a team of volunteers, a suicide prevention squad within the communities, and operate a suicide prevention helpline. Next slide, please. So the project has two modules. One is the training and awareness modules, which is specifically targeted at the local languages, because you know that there are 2-3 major languages, local languages in Nigeria, like Yoruba, Igbo, or Hausa, and create literatures and videos in those languages, organize seminars, skits, and talk shows, and create an outbound call center where probably a call could be put through to known cases of trauma in a family, or to a family which is probably having a known case of trauma. And then part 2 is the total budget, estimated budget is from about $35,000 US. The suicide prevention helpline, the creation and development of the helpline, and running a sustainable operation through integration with corporates, a 5 to 10 year MOU with the top 2 corporates like IHS Towers, MTN Foundation, which are working in this area. And then an inbound call center where people or family could seek help and get some first level of intervention in their lives. The total budget is around US $30,000 to $35,000 for this project. I will request the gathering here that please come up not just with funds, if possible, with ideas, where this project can work towards its successful initiation and sustained completion. Thank you so much. I would like to request my next participant, Rotarian Aline, to come forward and talk about her project.
Thank you, Rotarian Abhishek. Good evening, the Rotarians from various Rotary clubs around the world. I am Rotarian Eileen, and I would like to talk about a very passionate project by our own Rotary Club of Echo Atlantic, the Cerebral Palsy Center. Cerebral Palsy Center is a non-governmental organization started in 2010 by Nonye Nweki, whose adopted daughter was diagnosed with cerebral palsy when she was 5 months old. Cerebral palsy is a development disorder that affects balance, movement, and posture. It is a result of the accident that happened to a part of developing infant's brain. This is a congenital order, does not have a cure yet. Mostly of these diagnosed children are either abandoned or locked up at home to avoid embarrassment to the family. Ms. Nonye started to build small center with aim of providing services to the families, which includes awareness, intervention, therapies, and housing to the abandoned ones for free. They are accommodating 20 children. 10 are in-house, 10 are outpatient, and with the 17 working staffs. Since inception, the center has been operating limited space on a rented accommodation, which has not only become expensive, but ill-fitted to the purpose. The center has acquired a piece of land in Lekki with the support of various social organizations working in Nigeria to build a bigger capacity, targeting to house 100 children, modern facility, and better quality of service. Rotary Club of Eco Atlantic helped in completing the soil investigation of the new purpose center last year, which costed us around 1.2 million naira or $2,600. They have started the construction of the new center and requires more support to enable to finish the project. Rotary Club would like to support or provide equipment for the main therapy room, which costs around 15 million naira or $33,000 to make. So I would like to take this opportunity to open the heart of individuals to join hands to take this project to its goal. We are looking forward for this global partnership to support by gathering more funds to finish this building center. So thank you so much for the participation today, for helping us share our vision and aim to stem Rotarian around the globe. And have a good evening. Thank you. So I would like to give to Mamta for the next project, Rotarian Mamta.
Thank you, Rotarian Eileen.
You're welcome.
Good evening and warm greetings to the President of the Rotary Club of Eco Atlantic, Rotarian Vinod Korani. My warm greetings to all the respected and distinguished Rotarians around the globe this evening, my fellow Rotarians, and all protocols observed. I'm Rotarian Mamta Dev Roy. I'm the President-elect of Rotary Club of Eco Atlantic, and I'm here to present the school project, the school adoption project. The adoption of the school project is one of the primary focus area of Rotary, and that is promoting education. So following that vision of RI, we have adopted a school, and that school is Tinabu Methodist Primary School. The school has a student strength of about 130 children, and it is from grade 1 to grade 6. We have adopted this school last year, in the last Rotary year, and with due permission from the education department of the local government, because these schools are generally government schools, but then they are not taken care of well. If you see the infrastructure, the facilities, the condition where they work, where the students come and study, it's really very pathetic. If you may put the screen where you can show the school, how the school looks like. I request the president to put the slide. Yeah, thank you very much. So this is how the school looks like. Last year we picked up the project, and through the support of our club members, we raised a little fund, about 1700 USD we used. And we did the two classrooms we finished, where you can see we have painted the school, the classrooms. We have done the windows, we have done the doors and all those. But this year we look forward to complete the entire infrastructure of the school, which includes the classrooms. There are 4 more classrooms. Look at the surrounding. The surrounding is very dirty, and we need to clean. We need to put those waste bins around. We need to do the toilets for them. We need to do a decent library for the children. Also, they need fresh and clean drinking water. So all these facilities we need to provide for the school. So to complete this entire project, it is budgeted around $22,500 US. This is a small school that we have adopted last year. And we wish to complete this project this year with providing all the facilities to the children going there, so that they have a better environment to study and to go to school, motivation to go to school, and they are healthy, they can study, and they can do well in life. So I thank every one of you today for participating this evening and for hearing out our vision. And we look forward to partner with your clubs so that these projects are more viable and more sustainable. Thank you so much for hearing out, and thank you so much for your presence this evening. And now it is over to Rotarian Shweta Srivastava for presentation of our next project. Thank you very much.
Good evening, everybody. Good evening, President Rotarian Vinod Kaurani and esteemed Rotarians across the globe, all the protocols observed. I am Rotarian Shweta Srivastava, and I'm going to present to you my project, which is called Project Ominira. As we all know that women health and welfare is one of the prime focus area of Rotary, and this particular project addressed the women health and education at the same time. Studies across Africa says that 1 out of 10 girls do not go to school due to several menstrual challenges. Poor hygiene practice not only affect women's health, but also keep them away from school for 3 to 4 days. So the project Ominira, which means freedom as well, in the local language Yoruba, Ominira means freedom, and that is how we decided the name for this project. This focus to bring freedom in women from old age shackles of gender bias and give them equal right to education. It promotes women's health and hygiene and aim to reduce absenteeism amongst the school girls between the age of 12 to 16 years due to menstrual issues. This project was launched last year. I'm sorry for the mistake in this slide. This project was launched last year, where we started the distribution of hygiene kits in the students of the Girls High School Marina, which is in Lagos. We started the distribution to a class of junior section 2 of the school on a monthly basis. This activity was also followed by the awareness session in the students by the members of the Rotary Club of Eco Atlantic. RCEA targets to adopt the girls of all the sections of the Girls High School Marina, not only one class, and hence I'm here to present you this project. And as soon as we move forward, we will like to adopt all the girls of the Girls High School and slowly move to the other schools as well for monthly distribution of hygiene kits and ensure better hygienic practices and good health in girl students. We also want to ensure that the girls do not miss the school for that 3 to 4 days, and they get the equal right to educate as the boys do. The strength of the school is almost 500 girl students, and a sum of 3 million naira, which is in dollars will be 30,000 to 35,000 will be required for hygiene kits spread over 12 months. Thank you so much for hearing us out, and I would want to appeal to my fellow Rotarians to join hands to reach out and help us to reach out to the maximum schools and benefit the girl students as much as possible. This will really bring a change to the society. And I request to everyone to donate as much as possible. I would like to hand over to my fellow Rotarian Pallavi to take over and present her project. Thank you so much.
Just sorry for interruption. Just a small correction before Rotarian Shweta leaves. 3 million is around $6,500. You said $35,000. It is 3 million. 3 million is $6,500, please.
Okay.
For a month and year.
Okay. Are you saying it is a requirement per month or for the full year? 3 million.
3 million is for the full year CP.
So 3 million comes to $6,500.
Yes, $6,500. That's somewhere there is a mistake in the slide. I really apologize for the mistake.
No problem. Great. Thank you.
Good evening. Thank you, Rotarian Shweta. Good evening, President Vinod Korani, Rotarian Vinod Korani, all the esteemed guests and family members on this platform. This is Rotarian Pallavi Korani and presenting you our project, segregation project for waste management. And I would just present it in a video format. Arshi, please play the video for me. Arshi, you could just reduce the voice. I'm sure the video says the journey and explains about our journey to segregation. We have worked out fantastic plans. And yes, Nigeria is a bit late in segregation, but it's completely aware. And the best part is that we have adopted foolproof plans of other countries like the Blue Bin Project, and we partnered with LOMA. This is what we have reached up to. And could I have the next slide, Arshi? The next slide, yeah. Our project was launched on 5th October 2019, and we are looking at minimum 3 years, plans and actions, approaching more estates to join our plan, partnering with other clubs to join, speaking to companies to join us and requesting them to make their work environment plastic free. Our future sustainable plans are to install mesh bins in public locations to collect larger amount of segregated PET bottles, identifying areas of high plastic use, and then install plastic waste compressing machines for further use in various infrastructure development. Arshi, can we have the next slide, please? These are the mesh dustbins which we are looking forward to raise funds and put it up at the places wherever government allows it and public places to collect exactly purely PET bottles. And if you see the mesh dustbin, there cannot be anything which can be brought out from there. So it's a proper planned mesh dustbin which we want to put up. Thank you so much. And we look forward for your suggestions in these projects and your partnering and help also. Thank you.
What is the budget required, please?
At the moment, we are still looking forward for people who can help us make these mesh dustbins in Nigeria. So when it comes to budget, really there's no answer for the budget. This is our future plan.
I think CP, we will get back to that part later on. I think that's if it's okay. May I, if I might take the with all your permission, I would like to introduce our speaker, who happens to be who should be the spotlight for the conference or for the meeting today. Rotarian Uday Pilani, welcome again. And I want to take this moment to actually recognize your presence as well as speak about a few lines about you. He's a third generation Rotarian with Rotary values and ideas firmly entrenched in the family. He started off his Rotary journey as an interactor in school in Mumbai. Then his first club that he joined was Rotary Club of Wampai in Kano, Nigeria, where he later on became a president in 2008 and 9. He was also the district chair, also a plus of Pulse Polio and subcommittee of 2008 and 9. And he played a very important role in ensuring that the program was actually crossed the religious barriers and biases that existed at that point of time. He then took a transfer to Hyderabad, Rotary Club of Hyderabad Deccan, and was a president in 2018 and 19. And the club was awarded the best club and the best president across the twin cities of Hyderabad and Secunderabad. In 2021, Rotarian Uday is also the AG for the club. And he is also a project coordinator for health prevention for the year 2021 at this point in time. He is an Arch Society member for 2018 batch. From a professional standpoint, Rotarian Uday is an investor, has interest in, has made investments in hospitality, in schooling, accommodations, and various other businesses in UK. And he's also an entrepreneur and an investor in the information technology businesses, business process reengineering businesses, as well as a blockchain and fintech company. He owns that in Switzerland. Uday, Rotarian AG Uday is actually happily married to Rupal and has been blessed with 2 daughters, Dia and Krishna. Rotarian Uday, welcome to the program, and thank you very much for taking our invite. The floor is all yours. We look forward to hearing from you.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Great to be here. And I think it is a great eye-opener for a lot of my friends who have joined in from around the world to see how Rotary is doing in Nigeria. A lot of us don't have an idea as to how clubs do overseas. And I think this kind of an interaction is a good excuse for everybody to know that kind of work you're doing, the kind of projects you're doing, and to understand what kind of Rotary happens there, how meetings are held there. So it's a great, it's one of the objects of Rotary is to increase the world understanding. And I believe this fits in very well in that. I'll start with my presentation quickly, and I'll share the screen. So we are going to talk about fundraising and global grants. I'll run it very quick this time. The Global Grant Program was launched in 2013-14. It replaced the 3H program. And in 2013-14, 868 grants, $47 million, which escalated to 2018-19 into 1,403 grants at $86.6 million. So you can see how the Global Grant Program was so successful. It was a victim of its own success. The World Fund got exhausted last month, end of May 2020. And the trustees had to hurriedly convene between themselves and figure out how they're going to continue. And they came out with the changes. This is very important. So this meeting is very apt because these changes just came in last week. And I believe that across the world, you could be one of the first clubs who would be looking at these changes actively as they have happened and as the communication goes out. So now, in Global Grant Program, earlier, whatever the club money was contributed, the World Fund matched it 50%. and that has been removed. So there's no more World Fund matching. Only the DDF, the district designated fund of your district, is matched 100%, 1:1. Source of funds can be your annual giving, endowment, directed or restricted giving. I will come to that later on. The minimum project size is $30,000. So for a new club like yours, you must understand that unless the project size is $30,000, it will not qualify for a global grant program. It is one of the conditions prerequisite to many others, and the maximum is $400,000. Now, earlier, there was a DD requirement compulsory, but now there's no more. That requirement doesn't hold anymore. And earlier, the partner clubs had to bring in 30%. That has been reduced to 15%. This is a great thing because sometimes you are not able, you got the money, you got the DDF, you looking for some 1:1 match from the World Fund, but you don't get an international partner. Or you get an international partner and they're not able to bring up the 30%, and projects, take a back seat. So now that has been dropped to 15%. And hence, if it is a $30,000 project, you could have $5,000 in DDF, which will get matched $5,000 by World Fund, and $20,000 between your club you could raise, and you have a global grant program. You can do a project without any World Fund requirement also in global grant, solely using your DDF endowment directed funds. You can do that, which I'll come to soon as to what these funds are. Of course, your club must qualify. So you got to check whether your club qualifies for, typically it takes a little bit of time. The clubs have to be with Rotary for a couple, 3 years, I think, if I'm not wrong. And you need to check with your district whether your club is qualified to apply for a global grant. If it is not, because it's a new club, you still want to do projects, so you need to find a local partner club, which is a qualified club, and then work it along with them, under their stewardship. So you learn as you go because they are an older club and they know how to do this. It should be a long-term sustainable impact project. So it has to be sustainable. That is the key word, for you to qualify for it. Even after Rotary has implemented and moved out of the project should run on its own steam. Very important to do this. It should be under Rotary's areas of focus, which I will explain in the next slide. You must have an international partner, and it must have involvement of Rotarians and the beneficiaries. You cannot just go and do a project where Rotarians went and did a project and the beneficiaries are not involved in it. So areas of focus. Of course, the project has to be amongst one of the areas of focus. We've got environment, we just got recently added a month back. So you got now 7 areas of focus. Your project must revolve in one of these areas of focus. So whenever you're planning projects with global grant in mind, you must cross-check these things, because you don't want to be doing a lot of work trying to create a project and then you realize that it doesn't. For example, somebody just mentioned in an earlier presentation that you want to build something. Now, global grants don't allow you to build anything. You cannot construct using global grant fund. No building can be made. You can repair a building. You can refurbish a building, but you cannot build one building. So you need to, very carefully understand as to what qualifies and what doesn't qualify. Of course, you want to go for global grant or do any project. Fundraising is very important. Without that, nothing will happen. Now, I'm not going to talk about your local fundraising. That guys know best how you're going to do your local events. For example, at my club, we got a signature event, which is a golf tournament. And last year, we raised about 1.6 crore rupees, which is significant amount of money, and almost $250,000. And we do that every year. Now we got used to it. The whole town knows about it, and they all look forward to it. We used to have another one, which we dropped recently. But then you guys know about your local fundraising. I'm talking about fundraising for the Rotary Foundation, of which we all are, members, and that is a foundation that helps you, because unless you do this fundraising, clubs need to realize that the global grant program is funded from Rotarians. The money is not coming by itself. Somewhere you got to contribute so that it comes back to you. And especially in a club like Echo Atlantic, I'm hoping that after this talk, we'll see a lot of contribution to the foundation, which comes back to you. So you got various types of giving. Very simply, you got something which is called annual giving. So all your Paul Harris fellow, when you give $1,000, you get a PHF, and then the multiples of the $1,000, you get the additional PHFs till you reach $10,000, and you get a major donor, and then you've got 4 levels of major donor, and then you reach Aaj Kalam Society. So you got every Rotarian every year, you know that typically clubs should $26.5, which was the amount of money that Aaj Kalam contributed to create the foundation. So every Rotarian in the club, if you give that, you get a banner from the district and the foundation of ERUI, which you must do. And what happens with this money is that whatever money you give, 50% of that comes back to your district in 3 years. And that is DDF. And that gets matched 1:1. So in essence, clubs must create their own kitty by regular contribution. You may not have a global grant program for a year or 2 or 3 years or for 6 months or whatever it is, but your contribution to the Rotary Foundation should be regular and systematic. So that in 3 years, you are creating your own kitty. The entire money comes back to you. It's beautifully designed. Nobody's taking away any money anywhere. And the foundation has, of course, the 4-star rating by Charity Navigator, which is the highest rating possible. It is, I have not seen in my life any other fund or foundation contributing close to 85% of the money raised back to where it came from, with less than 7 to 8% being spent towards administering the whole foundation and the program and all that. So this is what you guys should concentrate on, as to how you will be a 100% PHF club. And not only that, you should not rest back that, okay, I've got a PHS and I'm sitting back. So you're not creating something for the future. You got to move up the PHF ladder and start getting pins like this, you know, but I don't know if this will show. So this is a pin with a lot of those, this when you reach level 9 and then you reach a major donor and you start getting, you know, major donor pins, and you start doing that. Now in that second part is the Polio Plus, which Nigeria now has scaled through, but it has not ended. You still have your immunization to go on, and Polio Plus gets matched 2:1 by the Gates Foundation and others. So you must continue to contribute towards that, so that Rotary Foundation can fund programs on polio in Nigeria. And then coming importantly to the endowment fund, which Rochit, you were more curious about. Endowment typically starts at $25,000 or more, and it can be in memory of someone. It is a permanent thing. So what happens is when you give $25,000 to Rotary Foundation, it invests that money into various things. So they've got an investment committee, and they invest it into whether it's government securities or stock or whatever it is. The income earned from that investment is sent back to your district as DDF. And you can specify where it has to go to and for what cause it has to go to. And typically as a gentleman agreement, districts normally, if my club has created an endowment, the money comes, I get the first right to choose where I want that money to be spent. So I would like to see a lot of endowments coming from your club. You know, your club has the resources to do that. And these, and this is a perennial thing. It is as long as the earth will last, or as long as, so you are actually creating a permanent fund for which year after year, you'll get the endowment earnings for the next few generations, and you leave a legacy behind. So apart from that, you got directed giving, $30,000. You can apply to a global grant directly. On the endowment, of course, I'm happy to inform you that I created 2 endowments for Nigeria this year, fully paid, totaling $64,000. One is for your district, of which I've named your club, and I've put it in memory of my mentor, Mr. Van de Beek, and one in the district in the north for my club in Kano. So you will see that from next year, you'll start getting some DDF from there, which you can match it 1:1, and you can, do good projects. And of course, directed giving. So directed giving, one-time direct gift you can give directly to a project, goes directly. You don't have to ask anybody. In fact, it completes a global grant project by $30,000. So you could create a directed giving also. You could involve business houses in Nigeria who could do directed giving, projects of their choice, which, which you are doing and executing. And we are doing a lot of that work in India, where we work with large corporates, we work with their CSR budgets, we try and see if there are areas where them and us match, and they are the ones who basically fund what we do. That is how you start raising money in a larger scale. Pooled endowment. So this is something that we came up with very successfully. What we did is we made pools of groups of people who were committed to giving to the foundation. So in my club, we've got a number of pooled endowments. I've got, at the last count, 22 major donors, most of whom are level 2 major donors. And what we started in my year as president was 5 of them get together, $5,000 each, makes a $25,000, and you draw a chit, and one of the 5 guys, he gets to name an endowment after him that year. Next year, between the 5 of them, again, they collect the money, and the second guy gets it. Third year, the third guy gets it, fourth guy, fifth guy. In 5 years, you got 5 pooled endowments working for you, and then the money starts to come back to the club. We also have pooled endowments between 3 Rotarians who do $8,333 per annum for 3 years, and then each one of them gets an endowment done. In an endowment, also Rotary Foundation allows you that you can commit, pledge to an endowment, and you can give that money over a period of 3 years. You can do the same for an Arch Club Society membership also. That, okay, I will give $250,000 and I'll give it in 3 equal installments over 3 years. So this is something that you must go out to. Your club can itself create an endowment by pooling together the resources of all the members. If you got 50 members, each of them puts $1,000 each. You got $50,000. You create a $50,000 endowment fund, which comes back to your at the beginning of the 3rd year onwards and for the rest of your life, of wherever it is. So that is something you should actively consider that each member contributes and creates a club pooled endowment fund. Now, for resources, reach out like you've reached out to Rotarians, Rotary Action Groups. Check up on the internet. There are a lot of Rotary Action Groups which will help you. RI staff is there to help you. If you have any difficulty reaching anywhere, please get in touch with me. There's a cadre of technical advisors. So this cadre is very important. We've got Elise, who's cadre, who's joined us. There are a lot of these senior Rotarians who are cadre, and you can easily find out from Rotary Inter and from your district who is the cadre for a particular type of project that you want to do. For each area of focus, you have cadres who are specialist Rotarians in that particular thing, and they can help you design the project, they can help you vet the project, and they sometimes can also help you get a partner for it because people reach out to them. And of course, the Rotary website. So thanks for inviting me, and I'm here to take a few questions if you want. Thank you.
Thank you, Rotarian Uday. Thank you very, very much. Again, as always, it is always a pleasure both to listen to you as well as to be able to guide it by, to be able to get this going. Of course, one of the things that we need to be able to go back and ask is, when we are trying to do this, and I will open it up to a lot more questions. If you have any questions, my suggestion is either you can directly ask, please unmute yourself because we have muted you. So if you can unmute yourself, it will be great. And then you can ask the question. That's number one. Number two, if you would want us to ask the questions, we'll be happy to ask on your behalf. So Rotarian Uday, there's a question that I have got, especially on the endowment front. And I know you have actually contributed a little bit. One of your funds that you have committed to has been directed towards us as a club to be able to monitor. Now, when we go back and look at that fund, is there any kind of what is it that we need to be able to keep in mind? How can we use? So one of the things is you had mentioned it to me that there is a way to double that fund. Can you explain to us what we can do so that we can?
What happens? Whatever is your earning that comes to your district comes as a DDF. So in a global grant, your DDF gets matched 1:1. So that earnings which come back to your and I've got these big boys of Rotary and the big madams of Rotary here. So you're most welcome, any one of you, EMJ, Suresh, Ravi, anybody to correct me if I'm wrong or anything that you want to add in, please, most welcome. Let this new club get the benefit of your attendance. So that DDF gets matched 1:1. So that's how it gets done.
Okay. All right.
You didn't understand. Suppose I made that $32,000 for your club. now for your district, and we marked it to your club. So in that, suppose at the end, in the third year when it starts off, you get say about the income earned or that money is invested by Rotary Foundation, say is about $2,000. So that will come to you. It gets marked very clearly. I will get a notification. You will get a notification that that money is come. In your district, you'll be able to see where the DDF and how it has come. So it's very transparent. So that $2,000, and you do a global grant project. So you got that 2,000, and the Rotary Foundation will match it 1:1. So you get $4,000, and then you put together other things together, and you get your project going.
Oh, okay, great.
So Uday, you have to correct themselves that only earnings will be there, not the whole amount. I think somebody normally the people understand that if we put up $30,000 in endowment, our money will come to $60,000. So we have to correct that only the earnings will be there. And one more thing I noted, Uday, in your presentation, correct me if I'm wrong, maybe in the latest changes are there. You have mentioned somewhere that directed gift, like term gift, they are also eligible for points. I have mentioned this point in a chat box also. They are eligible for points. This, I think, you have to recheck. Because
no, they are eligible. Rameshji, it is eligible. In the total giving, it will accrue. There is no problem, directed gift. Only when you make endowment as a pooled gift, that has a challenge, not otherwise. Directed gift have a point system given.
Okay, yeah, I may be corrected.
Because many districts, you know, many of the donors raise funds through directed gifts. So they are close to some project which they want to do. So that is one of the good way of raising money. So that gives the credit to the donor. Even AK's recognition is possible through giving directed gift.
AKS and everything is there. AKS recognition is there.
Only it won't be matched. Directed gift will not be matched.
It won't be matched. I understand. But so far as points are concerned, this is what my concern is. There points, I think.
Points, sir, yeah. Points means credit. That is being recognition point will be given.
Points, yes. I'm referring to the points only.
No, no. I'll get. So maybe my error. I should have explained that better. So for this new club, when you give for Paul Harris, say $1,000, you get 1,000 points which you can gift. This directed giving the points, which I'm saying, it is actually the sum can be added towards you reaching AKS or level 3 or whatever major donor.
Yeah, that is there. But I think this is a new terminology for this new club, that some recognition points are there.
No, that's a good point you made. Points are leading.
Yeah.
We look at recognition, not points.
Yeah.
So may I encourage other members to ask their questions, because I know there are lots of other questions that are there.
One question I have posted in the chat also. Uday, I saw the presentation of all the projects. See, one is how the projects pre-vetted, because some are grantable, some may not be. Just check with your coordinator or your focus area coordinator whether those projects presented are all grantable. If so, then, brief of the project with the funding options available. What is the fund you are raising? What are you expecting from the international partner? If that grid is shared, I can share it with my districts and see whether anybody is interested in partnering.
Absolutely, sir. We'll absolutely do that. So we will go back and check on those projects, which are the ones that are there. My understanding is that barring one, the rest of them are eligible. But I will go back and verify, because as AG Uday Pirani has told me that we need to be able to verify whether we are eligible, because we are about we are about 18 months old. So we are about 2 years. Will be 2 years in December. So we want to be able to verify that, and also maybe our parent club can actually partner with us to be able to do some of this. So we'll absolutely come back to you on doing it. That's not an issue.
Your DG must have you must have attended the grant seminar. That must be one of the precondition for clubs to be. If your district is eligible, I think you should not have a problem.
Now our district is eligible because we have done a couple of projects. We, as Rotarian AG Uday Pirani mentioned, last year when he was the president of his club, we were trying to do a project. Almost everything was done, but at that point of time when we were trying to do it, the need had already been met by some other means. So therefore, we did not take it further. So that's how we dropped that project. But there are other needs that are there right now, which we might be able to go back and utilize, because we have to start all over again, because it's again a school project that we were trying to do at that point of time.
Rochit, I'll request PDG Olu to chip in for the district side to give us some idea.
Even Dr. Divya would like to ask a question. She has a
Dr. Olu, you're on mute, sir.
PDG Olu, you're mute.
There was a grant seminar in June. Did you attend it? Because if you attend the grant seminar, then it qualifies you for projects. It was done via WhatsApp.
Yeah, so we have all participated in it.
You participated. If you participated, they complete the MOU and send to the grants director.
Sorry, I have a small question. Is the MOU yearly or per grant?
It's yearly.
Yearly, okay.
Because
we did sign the MOU for the district grant last year.
No.
Yeah, you have to sign for 2020-21.
Excuse me, I think he's talking about the grant seminar, the club signing MOU with the district. That's what our officer is talking about.
Yeah, and it has to be signed by your president elect,
yeah,
and yourself, and the three persons have to sign.
Yeah.
See, this is the advantage of all these superstar PDGs. You know, they can really give you the correct answer and tell you the way forward.
No, this is an opportunity for us to actually grab as much knowledge as we can, because it is coming for free.
Yeah.
You don't have to let go of it.
Okay, we have.
I've
got a couple of members raising their hands. Yes.
Before we do that, if we can just recognize one of the veterans, PDG PK. If I have his name correctly put to me, he's around. Just to recognize him, PK Acharya.
He's from Orissa. He came and went, I think.
Oh, he went away. Yeah, I saw him. So yeah, please go ahead, Dr. Divya.
Acharya is very much here.
Sir, I am here. I am here. Vishwalabu.
Namaskar, sir. How are you?
Fine. Vishwalabu, bhai. India time 10:30. I think Dr. Saul is here from Singapore. Please check it.
Hi.
Dr. Saul Ahmed from Singapore is here. He's very perfect on matching grants. I think that club Singapore is the global grant projects that one got the certificate from the RI.
Welcome, Dr. Shohol. We have worked with, we have done the project, international grant project with Dr. Shohol from Rotary Club of Singapore. You're welcome, sir.
Yeah, I met him last year.
Hi.
I was in Singapore.
Hello, everybody.
He's
Hello.
Here.
I have two questions. I see RRFC Olu is here as well. You mentioned that the endowment fund returns will go to the SDDF. My understanding is only 50% of the returns will go back as SDDF, and then will be.
Yes. Yes, you're right.
That I wanted to make is that we have a club in Singapore that was about a year old, and we managed to work a global grant. So, like FCS.
Who are going to get impacted today, where they came to this.
And that club can be qualified. So it's nothing to do with the number of years that you've been started.
Right.
Thank you.
You're right. You're right. As long as you have attended the grant seminar, I missed on that one, and you signed the MOU, you are eligible to participate in a grant.
Yeah,
50% of your earnings come back as DDF, which gets matched 1:1.
Uday, when endowment, there are various type of endowment. One is global grant endowments, grant endowment, others are share endowment. So they should choose where it is DD matchable endowments, the return comes. The spendable earning are allotted on a yearly basis from the third year to the district or the whoever the endowment giver. They get information.
Right. Thank you.
Dr.
Thank you.
Divya, please go ahead.
Right. So thank you so much for giving me this opportunity. I hope I'm audible to everyone.
Yes, Dr. Divya, you are.
Right. So I have just submitted a project for global grant, and it is related to lac production unit and involvement of rural women for their employment and production of some decorative items and the items which they can use for like medals, shields, etc. Now, apart from that, I have few more ideas and I have some projects ready. So my question is that how many projects can I submit? Number one. Number two, first time I have submitted the project with some international partner. So is it necessary to have the international partner, like if I submit another project, one or two more projects? This is the another question. And the last question is that how can I apply for the district grant? Like, what is the difference between global grant and district grant? Because whenever I try for district grant, because the fund required is less, so I get only one option, which is for global grant. So these are certain questions. These were certain confusions in my mind that I wanted to discuss here.
Very good questions.
You want me to answer?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, you can have 10 open grants at a time. That is the first. Then it should be report compliant. You should be filing the report in time. If any one report even is not closed, your process will get delayed, except those which are open. Second, district grant is a choice by the district which they allot, because the DDF is the maximum 50% they can allot for district grant. The district takes a call whether they give it to the clubs to do the global grant or the district grant, because it is monitored by the district and report is closed with the help of the club which is executing the project. So the district takes a call how much they allot to the district, because if the global grant demand DDF is more, they will allot to global grant than running behind for closure report. Many districts don't take doing the global grant through the district grant model. Okay. And third is you need partner for every grant, except in the case of directed gift, where if you have got a directed gift, your partners is only namesake, you don't need funding option. And fourth, today we got, I don't know whether it is been publicized there also, the grant have been, the conditions have been reduced much below the required level earlier. $30,000, you can fund it entirely without even foundation matching. The TRF giving is the minimum 15,000 is removed now, and you are in and your partners, you can get it either through DDF and your cash contribution, and that itself can suffice, because you don't. Earlier the condition was TRF funding was important, matching was important. So that condition is removed now. And also international partner, earlier you had a condition, you need 30% minimum contribution. That has also been reduced now to 15%.
Okay.
These are some of
you can add one more thing, Suresh. When you say endowment fund is with endowment fund, you don't have to have an international partner. In that case, that part of endowment fund will not be matched. Of course, nowadays all the cash contributions are removed. But still, to make it more clear, even earlier also, that part of endowment fund, which is you are using for non-having international partner funded, that part also will not be matched. Earlier it was not matched. Nowadays it's completely waived, but that is not.
Yeah, I agree with that. The endowment earning comes to the district. It can be spendable. They have to give a spendable report. The spendable report has to be given like a district grant. It is spent through the district model. The district grant is also not matched. So it takes the shape of a district grant.
In fact, earnings are not so much popular over worldwide, because it comes in very nominal amount. So it comes to the district governor and he doesn't publicize it normally in the world. He doesn't publicize it because it's a very small amount. Say so people doesn't know it about it.
Okay.
So
I have. Sorry, PD. Sorry, you were saying something. Sorry.
No, no. These are the things, a few things which we all are here to share with everyone, so that people know about the global grants. And one more thing they can have it for district grants. You don't have to follow all this. This what is this 7 area of grants? 7 areas what we have. Like for global, we have to be in these 7 areas of focus. But for district grants, which is in the control of your clubs, I think your RRFC, all senior persons are here. They will agree with us that for these 7 areas of focus, they can go out of those areas also.
Absolutely. I have a question from Rotarian Abhishek. Rotarian Abhishek, would you like to ask the question, please?
Yeah. Thank you, Opportunity Secretary Rotarian Project. AG Rotarian Lani ji, your presentation was really very informative, and the discussion around it is very technical, and we'll have to take a note of a lot of those. So my question are two. One, that I took the presentation for my project, which I am aiming, which is on the suicide prevention helpline. So now for this project, there is a capital expenditure and there is an operating expenditure. Both are involved. So if you set up a call center, for example, there will be lines. There will be an initial investment into the technology, and there will be a investment required on a recurring basis for a certain period of time. Okay, so which is the capex and the opex part of it. So does this project qualify for global grants? Number one, and how do we then construct them for them to get qualified, or what changes can we bring? So that's question number one. And let me just so the second question is that on suicide prevention, how are clubs in India doing? That's my second question, if some information is there. So
we are doing one school project currently, which is 12 schools. We're doing a lot of computers there, and education and teachers and so on and so forth. But sustainability, like I mentioned earlier in my presentation, is very key. No global grant will be funded if the project cannot be sustained beyond the Rotary's intervention. So you have to build a sustainable model whereby you will say you can use capex and opex for the 1 year ahead or something. You can the global grant will cover it. That is not a problem, but it will not cover forever. So each global grant, suppose you do a global grant this year, you say for 1 year you have covered the capex and the opex, and for second year you want the opex. Either you have to go for another grant at the end of the year, and you have reported and everything's gone well, and you got partners or whatever it is, you might get funded on that. But I would strongly recommend, my experience is that you create a sustainable model whereby you'll have to work it out. How you going to, once you've set the center up, it should run with or without Rotary support. The second question was, I missed.
Yeah, on the line of suicide prevention and mental health.
They're doing a lot of work. Yeah, they're doing a lot of work. I'm sure a lot of work is happening. I mean, Hyderabad, I know there is work happening. There is support happening, but it is not yet. Only after the Sushant Singh Rajput's suicide, it has become a talking point now, and people are looking up, and people are. I've heard people are making plans, even so. Yeah, they're taking it up.
Yeah, just to add here, because you put that name.
But not much of grantable projects have been taken. We don't know. After this COVID pandemic, this can be a new area many are looking at. Psychological interventions or something. Let us see how a grant can be written out of it, because as Uday has explained, you need the sustainability factor. For example, if you want to understand it more clearly, if you're setting up an eye hospital or a machine which is catering to eye hospital, so there is a capex, you have done it already. Then what they will do is, for running it for a year or something, you can build in it in the system. But you have to build in a factoring financial flow in that, saying that there are some patients who will pay and subsidize for the free services or the subsidized services you are going to do. So you need to show the proof that there is a way of self-supporting the project. Rotary doesn't want to give a fishing fish to you. They want to give you a fishing rod. So you're leaving out of it, not leave out of their giving. So that is the important thing, that principle behind Rotary grants. It is a fishing rod that you have to give, not a fish.
Thank you. Thank you, Rotarian Suresh ji. So just to add here that we started our suicide prevention campaign last year, and we started doing the awareness program in the last Rotary year and in 2019, before COVID or, Sushant Rajput's case happened. So it is a problem. It's just that a lot of us don't recognize it, and COVID and such incidences have brought it in the forefront. So thank you so much for
one second, sorry, Dr. Divya, you still have a question to ask, or?
Yes, only one question.
Please go ahead.
We have been working for slum transformation for the past 2 years, and in this July issue of Rotary News, there is an article also, slum transformation through colors. So there is a question in my mind, because since we want to work for some kids, some people, they do not have permanent homes, right? So they are staying at homes which is not permanent, and we are trying to upgrade their facilities, upgrade their infrastructure. And there is a guy who is, he's earning only 10,000 INR, and he dedicates and donates 8,000 INR for development of the slum area. And we are trying to provide our support. Rotary platform is there to help them and provide them the support, whatever they need. So the question is that, is it possible to get the Rotary grant, global grant, for any specific area which is not permanent, but yes, legally it is not permanent, but it still persists. They are staying over there. So how can we help them? Are we eligible to apply for global grant for if I present a model or proposal, a kind of project for that development? This is the question.
No, but exactly what do you want? You want Rotary to pay the rent for the place, or what?
Actually, it may be in the form of rent, or it may be yes, definitely. Right now, we do not have any permanent infrastructure. So if we take some places on rent, this is not possible, right?
No, I mean, you can build a project whereby you have some training happening to economically empower them. You have some counseling happening, and you can say, and the rent can be part of the training process. And if you can demonstrate that after the training, they'll be they'll be gainfully employed and they can take care of themselves. So as long as the training lasts, you could build in the rent. But yeah,
so I am ready with a project wherein their skill development programs have been planned, and for that only the question is that, can we get the rent? Because definitely if we okay,
yeah,
that can
if you're opening a vocational training center or a skill development center, and the rent can be a part of it.
Okay.
Rent only up to the period of training only.
Only up to the period of training, yeah.
You have to show a funding flow later on. How the second, you said the setting up a center, brick and mortar will not be paid. So you need to have a building where only the equipments to operate or the skill development, the implements needed, that can be put there.
The only problem was that where to install, right. The only problem is where to install the equipments. This was the problem. However, we are trying our level best to get some, contributions from the Rotary members, senior Rotarians. We are trying our level best.
The only thing
raise your money. Things that grant don't finance, you finance it yourself, and rest of it the grants will finance. It doesn't have to be the project; has to be entirely financed by the grant.
I think that you have to tell them that the only thing they have to keep in mind that Rotary cannot take any future liability on their shoulders, like rent continue going on or whatever is, and no future liabilities are there.
Thank you.
Okay, thanks everybody.
Yeah,
it's quite late in India. Very grateful to all of my friends who joined in at my request. And
I want to take 1 minute. Rotary, 1 minute, sir. I actually want to, before you get into your Thanksgiving, I think there's more important things that I want to be able to do. I know, Dr. Shahul, you had a question. Did you have that question, or you want Rotarian Abhishek to reach out to you?
Oh, well, it's just that we did attempt a similar suicide prevention program in Singapore for a global grant, and same thing. We had a capital expenditure and whatever that you mentioned. To cut the story short, it is not considered as a sustainable project. But you need to add something else. You need to add maybe you need to train counselors. So what we did was to actually propose a very interesting twist to the whole thing. In Singapore, the number one cause of death for people aged 15 to 25 is suicide, if you can believe it, right? So we have people as young as 12, 13 years old, committing suicide. So the project actually looked into putting together a skit, like a play, to reach out to kids in that age group between 12 to 18. And the grant funds can be used to pay for the creation of this play or this skit, and it goes around to the different schools, and it reach out to the people who actually need this kind of advice. So if you are able to spin this kind of additional angle to your project, it will qualify as a global grant. But it has to be like a holistic view. It has to be connected to the equipment you are buying and whatever else that you are doing. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Fabulous. I also learned something now. So Dr. Shahul, fabulous. So you have to be innovative and get around and use your resources like experience of people who have done it before you. And Rotary is all about that. Reach out, make friends around the world, and try and do good to everybody.
So, so before we go, before I close this thing, I want to be able to call on my club AG, Mr. Rotarian Yemi, to kindly give a vote of thanks, please.
Rotarian
Yemi, you're on mute. Rotarian Yemi, you're talking on mute.
Yeah, I'm on mute now. Am I?
You're on mute. You're fine. You're good.
Yes, that's really wonderful. I'm all ears. My head is so full with so much information. Thank you all. I'm sure on behalf of the President, Vinod, and the Rotary Club of Eco Atlantic, would like to say a big thank you to our PDG Olu. I know that he's someone that is very, very conversant with global grants in Nigeria. And I know that Rotary Club of Eco Atlantic can tap a lot of wisdom from him, apart from all the wisdom around the world. I also want to say thank you on behalf of the club to Rotarian Uday. And thank you so much for your lecture, for your global grant lecture. It's so rich. I want to use the opportunity to thank our AG Sanjit. I know that we didn't hear from him. I hope he's there. Thank you so much for all our speakers. Rotarian Abhishek, thank you very much. For the cerebral palsy, we heard from Rotarian Alien. Thank you so much. I mean, so educative, and I know that all these projects will have one way or another to be enriched so that we can get a global grant for some of them. I want to say thank you to Rotarian Mamta. Thank you so much for your presentation. Rotarian Shweta for the project Ominira. I was very, very intrigued about that, the freedom for women. That's very good. Rotarian Pallavi, thank you so much.
Why just what?
Rotarian Suresh, thank you very much for what you've done. You've contributed a great deal. And of course, I have you over to Secretary Abby, but truly it's been a wonderful time listening to everyone. And I'm sure the club would be better for it from now. And a lot of more information will fall back on all of you. Please stay with us. Thank you.
I just only want to only say one thing. We have learned a lot from you. And I would request you to kindly take our projects back into your clubs and districts. To be able to see if any of your clubs would be interested in working with us, or they have got the same interest area as us, so that we can actually partner with them to be able to, help the society. As we always say, we owe it to our both the Janma Bhoomi and the Karma Bhoomi. So I'm born in India, so I owe it to my motherland in India, and also to my fatherland, which is Nigeria. So the Janma Bhoomi and the Karma Bhoomi works for me, and I want to thank everybody else. So for being a part of this. It was an eye opener for me. It was a fantastic program. I can't thank enough each one of you who has joined. Again, please share your contact details with us. We will be happy to reach out to you. If you want to partner with us, you can either reach out to AG Uday Pilani. He has all our contact details, and some of it is available on the chat as well. Please do feel free to reach out to us. We'll be happy to learn from you, work with you, and take this forward. Thank you very, very much. Over to you, President, if you have a last few words, and then my guest of honor, a friend, a brother, a comrade, and I don't know. You want the other things? I will keep it for a private conversation with Rotarian over there. Thank you, President.
Great. Yeah, thank you so much, OS, and thank you, our AG Uday Pilani. It has been a real pleasure, and also all the other guests that have joined us today. The best part of it is that I believe in everyone being a leader, and today what I see is that all the leaders that are in our club of Rotary Club of Echo Atlantic have taken self-interest in their own projects, and I think with the support of everybody who's experienced in this house regarding global grants and other aspects of Rotary, are going to guide each of our leaders. Each of our leaders is actually going to trouble you individually to learn better how to improve themselves in the aspect of global grant, and maybe also get advice on other aspects of Rotary. I just want to say a big thank you, and it has been a great learning experience. I don't want to take too much time of yours because it is far too late in India. So I'll let you speak now, AG.
Thank you. President, did you mention, say something for me to say, or?
Yeah.
Hello.
For you too. You will...
Glad to be here. Thanks for calling, and very grateful to all my friends who joined in and their valuable advice. Great to meet new people, and we look forward to a lot of interaction and doing good projects together and good fellowshipping when the situation allows. Thanks.
Great. Thank you so much.
Bye.
Thank
bye. Bye.
Thank you, Rotarian Uday. Thank you very much for coming.
Thanks.
It was a pleasure seeing you here today.
Great to be here.
Thank you all PDGs who are here, guests.